Okay, y'all. So this is what I'm doing right now, just to get an idea. Obviously, it's not going to look like this once I get the frame built, assuming that I'm able to get it built, hopefully today, if everything goes well. But I just wanted to get an idea. And as you can see, I've got plenty of this material stuff to cover everything. But this is an idea of the area that it's going to cover. And I've just got that pole in the middle just to try to keep, the weight of this thing, from laying on top of the plants. Same thing with this rake. It's just propped up to try to keep it from weighing down this here. But, just to try to envision it at this point. That this, hopefully I can make it stop right there instead of going all the way to the wall, because I think originally she was thinking to do it all the way to there, but I'd kind of rather it just be right there so that, you got this walkway right here. But then, it would be the height of the umbrella, so that'll all match up. Assuming it all works out. But I think it'll be good once I get it done. I'm just waiting now because my landlady went out. I think she went to the morning market or something. So I'm waiting for her to come back so that I can talk to her again about getting her son to maybe go get the stuff for me. And I've remeasured everything. And everything that I measured today is completely different from the measurements that she did yesterday, which when she measured, she was using her arms to measure. She wasn't using a measuring tape, but I actually used a measuring tape and tried to get everything measured as close to possible. I mean, it may vary a little bit, but it's not 4 meters by 4 meters like she originally was saying. So it's more like 3 meters that way. And I forget what it is here. I wrote it all down. I made a little diagram. I took pictures and even put the text on the pictures with little, red lines to show, okay, it's this long and this high and this wide, and to take with me to the place so that they can see it. Since yesterday there was like all this confusion about how much I needed for that material that went on and on. So hopefully today I can get the parts that I need to put it together, because as you can see, the sun is already headed over here. It's not going to be long before that sun, which is like right there, it's not going to be long before it's over here, and I'm going to be working out in the hot sun and heat the later it gets. So yay. But I'm hoping that if I get all the pieces that I need to put this thing together, it shouldn't take that long really to put it together. I mean, it's PVC pipe, and if you've got the fittings, you just stick them in, the fittings. And, I mean, it might take me a couple of hours or something, I would imagine, at least, because it's going to take a while to attach that, material onto it and get it secure and tight and all of that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, y'all. But hopefully the next time I update, it'll be, some progress. Because I'm going to definitely, be recording as I go to document my progress. So we'll see what happens, y'all. Woo, talk to you later. Okay. Well, y'all, I've got my pieces. I've already sawed the pieces into the sizes that I need. I'll tell you in a little bit how all this came about, but I got my pieces sawed into the sizes I needed, But now I'm struggling to get the pieces together because they're long and they're a little bit heavy, you know, and awkward, and I'm one person, so it's kind of a bit of a nightmare. I'm taking a break for a couple of minutes because, oh my God, the sun is right overhead and it is so hot out here. But I'm trying my best to get this thing put together. I'm not sure how well it'll work. I've done this. I went and bought these little pots that I've put the soil in, as well as rocks, to try and make like a base for this thing. But trying to get these pieces together because it's tall and I don't have like a step ladder or anything. Oh Lord, y'all, this is a nightmare that I've gotten myself into. I think it'll be great once I get it together, but oh my God, it's like the sun is bearing down. It is so hot out here, and trying to struggle with these pieces, and it's like you go to get one piece together, and as soon as you start to get it together, another piece falls apart on the other side. So it's like, oh my God, I may have to move all of these things out of the way. I was trying not to have to move all of the plants out of the way to do this, but I may end up having to. Oh God, I'm drinking tons of water. Oh gosh, let me just sit here for a second. If it comes together, I think it'll be great, but trying to do this just by myself is not working very well. This is probably going to take me longer than I originally planned or had hoped for. But at some point, I'm going to figure out a way to get this dang thing together if I have to freaking use duct tape to tape the pieces together so they don't fall apart while I'm trying to put them together. So, okay. So I thought I'd just update you on how it's going. But yeah, I'll tell you how I got this. Once I sit down to talk to y'all, I'll just tell you the story of how all of this came about today. Okay, welcome to my nightmare. Oh Lord, y'all. Okay, sun's going down over there. I was at this all day. I eventually had to get some help to get this thing turned upside down, because after fighting with it, I realized the only way I was going to get the pieces together was to have it upside down. And then when I tried to turn it right side up, it was just a total nightmare. And I literally was like in a position where I was screaming for help. Literally. I was screaming out saying, please, can someone help me? Help me, please. Because it was just, oh my God. And it's still not, obviously, it's not done. It's obviously not done yet. But you can at least get an idea of the structure part of it. And that fabric is not going to hang down that far. Like I said before, I got extra fabric so to make sure that I had enough. But, yeah, I'm going to have to try and I got to attach the fabric to the thing still and determine how much to cut off, because I'm going to be cutting some of that off. And this middle section is hanging down because it's not, oh Jesus, oh my God, oh my God, oh, shit, no, oh my God, there were roosters there that I couldn't see when I was walking, and I startled them, and then they were trying to figure out how to get out, and they were getting caught in my oh Lord, this is just unreal. Oh my God. So yeah, I eventually got help to get this frame turned upside, right side up because it was upside down. And then tomorrow, my landlady's son is going to go and buy a couple of these things to install because these PVC pipes fit inside of there. So he's going to attach that to the wall so that this actually clips into these things. Oh, Lord. So, yeah, at the moment, I kind of got this going on because I have to attach this. Otherwise, it's just going to hang there ridiculously. But I just needed to get it up there so that I can attempt to do that. So, hang on a second. I'm going to turn this thing around and finish talking to you. Me and my bright ideas. Someday I'll really laugh about this someday, but maybe not today. I don't I mean, I am kind of laughing about it. Yeah, remember how I said, oh, this should only take me a couple hours, maybe a little more. It's been an all-day event because trying to do this alone was just not possible. I did as much as I could, and then once it got to that point where I was trying to turn this thing right side up, nope, not happening. Oh, God. Okay, so anyway, I was waiting around for somebody to help me with this. I'd been up to the hardware store, gotten the fittings to put the pieces together, but I still needed the pieces for the fittings. And I kept waiting and waiting, and I was like, okay, I can't do anything until somebody helps me. And I was this close to riding my bike up there. I was out here with a measuring tape, and I measured the length. I was thinking, okay, these things are 4 meters long. So I was out there measuring to see how long it was going to be across my bike, because what I was going to do if I couldn't get somebody to go get them for me was I was going to ride my bike up there and then bungee cord the PVC pipes across my bike and then walk the bike home with the PVC pipes on it. And luckily, I saw my landlady's son across the street, and he was just kind of playing around on his phone. So I said, could you please help me? I thought he was going to take his tow truck to go get him. And he hops on his scooter, and I was like, what? And he was wanting me to ride with him. And I said, oh, I'll ride my bike because I won't ride a scooter. I just can't. I'm too terrified. So he was going on his scooter. I'm going on my bike, and I'm like thinking, how in the world is he going to carry these 6 PVC pipes, 4-meter PVC pipes on his scooter? But he did. He did. He held him in his arm while he rode down the street with the. I was just sitting there going, I'm telling you, these people here, they do things on their scooters that most people would just say there is literally no humanly possible way to do it, but these people do it. They do it. They do all kinds of things on their scooters that you just would think would be impossible. But anyway, he did it. So he got the PVC pipes and was like leaving to bring them back here, and I paid him for them, and I rode back here on my bike, and I came back and they were laying there ready for me. So I started cutting them, to the size, and I ended up cutting uh, the pieces that go this way. I ended up cutting some of that off because once I laid it all down and I pieced it together, I'm like, this kind of goes out a little bit too far. So I cut a little bit off to bring it out this way a little bit more because, oh, hang on, I got an ant or something was crawling on me. Um, it just was too narrow of a pathway for me to walk between the house and where this thing is. So I just cut those two pieces down. It wasn't any big deal. I mean, you know, I know how to saw. I have a little hand saw, so that's what I was using. I just, sawed those pieces off, made it a little bit shorter, and put the pieces back together. And then that's when all the nightmares started of me trying to figure out how to get this together. And eventually what I ended up doing, too, before I started screaming for help, I had gone up the street and I bought duct tape, some black duct tape, and I went around and duct taped all the pieces together with the fittings, on there. I mean, the fittings were already on it, but I went around and duct tape everything because I thought this is the only way I'm going to be able to pick this thing up and try to turn it over without all the pieces falling out. Because I don't have the strength to really hammer those things in, and I was going to buy a mallet so that I could really, tap on the ends of it and tap them in there strong. They didn't have a damn mallet, so that's why I got the duct tape. I was going to use the duct tape anyway, because I just thought, I got to get these things to stay together long enough for me to get it turned upside down. But even after the duct tape, I could hear it breaking. The pieces were coming apart. I was just like, this is hell. This really is. And so when I started screaming for help, suddenly my landlady's son came over, and he had a friend over there, so he came over to try to help get it turned over. So we were able to get it turned over, and then he was trying to help me get the pieces, secured in there and stuff. And unreal. This should have been an easy thing. I mean, it's 4 posts and then a square top, basically, or a rectangle. It's not exactly square because it didn't measure out perfect. But, it just shouldn't be a big deal. But when you're one person trying to hold up these long pieces, and I was trying to sit things, underneath it to kind of balance it, but I don't have like a big ladder. If I'd had a big ladder, I would have just set the ladder on the other side as another person, and then, tried to use it to stabilize, the other side of it while I was doing it. But just, I didn't have that, and it just, nothing was working. Oh, God. So I'm pretty worn out, because I was out here in the blazing sun all day trying to fight with this thing, and I had the sun in my eyes and couldn't half see. Now I got hens and roosters over here, and they're all like loud. Do you mind? Can you turn it down a little? And they're all freaking out because they're like, what in the world is all this crap sitting around? Because I got, my laundry things sitting over there. I've got plants scattered around the yard. I've just, got this big freaking mess to deal with. And I'm thinking I maybe just will leave my plants out of this for tonight until we get this thing completely finished, and then put the plants in afterwards. Because otherwise, I think I'm just going to end up having to move them around a whole bunch. And those things are heavy. They're heavy. And I've been picking them up and moving them around by myself again. It's like, God. Oh, Lord. But really, I honestly think that once I get this done and everything's together and it's all finished, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice, and it's going to provide the shade. So I think it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be the right amount of shade for these plants. That's all I can hope for. And it's going to provide me a little bit more shade over here too. So overall, I think it'll be fine. It's just getting past all this crazy stuff. And then I've got those little planters that I put soil down in and put the rocks in, as something to put the posts down into. And those things kept turning over. When I was trying to fight with it by myself, those things were turning over and everything was spilling out, and I was having to put the rocks and the soil back in it and stuff. It's just, oh God, if I had a bathtub, this would be one of those Calgon take me away days For anybody old enough to know what the hell I'm talking about, because a lot of people may not even know what that means, but oh, brother. So, yeah. So, I'm going to probably tonight, because I can turn my light on out here, and I think I'm going to try to go ahead tonight to get this material attached to the frame as best as I can, and at least get that done so that hopefully tomorrow all that's going to be left will be for him to attach these posts to the wall, you know, or put that little thing on the wall so that it clamps in there. And then once that's done, I'll just, you know, be putting my plants in here, you know, hopefully. I'm not going to say that that's all I need to do, because, you know, every time I try to come up with one of these dang ideas, there's always a lot more to it than I ever expect or hope or plan for. Oh, Lord. But I'll be happy. I will. I was frustrated today. I was out here cussing and yelling and everything else. I was trying to get people's attention. Honestly, I was. When I was over here struggling, because I saw him across the street, and I was like yelling, and I was like, damn it. You know, and all this kind of stuff. And he sees me over here fighting with this thing, and the things are falling apart and everything. And he's like looking at me from across the street, but not coming to help. And I was like, so I kept yelling, hoping that maybe he would come over and say, "Do you need a hand?" But it was eventually, once it got to that point, that I was literally standing there trying to hold it up, and pieces were falling, trying to get it turned over. I thought, okay, at this point, I'm desperate. And so that's when I started screaming for help. I was just literally yelling to the top of my lungs, help! Somebody please come and help me. I thought that's all, obviously I have to ask, because otherwise people aren't going to offer. So, oh God. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling, because I have a feeling this video is probably going to be way longer than I expected it to be, since I'm, you know, did other little clips today. I'm not even sure what I'm putting on here. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow I'll have a much better video and can show you something better than this. Because this, you know, obviously doesn't look that great right now, but hopefully it will look better later. So, I hope everybody's having a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. So have a good one, everybody, and I will see you later.